Ladies and gentlemen here on YouTube and vidme.com, welcome to Pillar to Post. I am your host Pete Wall, and today's edition is episode 4, part number 2, and it is for your May 4th, 2017 episode. Now, as you can see on your screen right below my image is the date. Why does it say 8 p.m.? Well, tonight at 8 p.m. is Shooting from the Hip, live here on Pillar to Post, and it will begin, like I said, at 8 p.m., and it will be me along with my co-host from the channel Heavyweight Mark, and he is Red Rainer. Now, I haven't heard from him today. I understood he went through a little bit of a health scare a couple of days ago, and he wasn't doing so good, so I am really hoping for the best. If he cannot make the show, it will go on, however. I've already scheduled it, so I'm not going to deviate. And I'm going to do my best to hold my own for at least 2 hours and give you as interesting of a show as I possibly can. Now, it'll be a lot different than what you see on Pillar to Post usually, but you know what? It is something that we're working together on, trying to give you guys a more interactive outlet where you can communicate with us easier. There's going to be the live chat. Hopefully, Skype is not being a bitch, and we can accept calls in as well. I would enjoy that. But if we can't, we're going to communicate with you via the live chat, and please make sure you're there at 8 p.m. tonight, because we're going to have some fun. Either Red's going to be there or he's not. I've been trying to reach him on Skype all morning, but he's been resting. So I'm hoping for the best for him. He didn't sound too good yesterday when I talked to him, so I'm hoping he's feeling a bit better today. Now, if you want to support this show, you can pledge to my Patreon, and that link will be in the description box below, as well as if you want to come over from VidMe and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way, when we go live stream every Thursday 8 p.m., you'll get that notification and you can join us without all the hassle. I wish VidMe did a live stream as well. We would do one for YouTube as well as VidMe, but you can only do as much as they allow you to, and so far that is not the case for vidme.com. They do not do live stream as of yet. If you want to connect with me via Facebook, my Facebook is in the description below, as well as any other outlets that I use in social media, like Twitter. You name it, it's on there. You know, I'm not going to go through the entire list. So, today in wrestling news, not a whole lot to discuss. There was one major thing, and I really hate having to talk about it. Charlotte Flair had some nude pics released. She was basically hacked, and nudes were released online. Sucks to be her, but to me it seems like it's becoming a trend. But we'll get into that later on. We've had the Hardy Boys. Now, we all know Jeff Hardy has not been able to fly overseas for touring. We knew that when he was in TNA. He was not able to do that with his drug-related history. So, we're going to discuss that. And what the hell has happened to Kayfabe? We've seen Strowman and Roman hanging out together with Titus O'Neil, Heath Slater, and God knows who else. Matt Hardy was also there. So kayfabe is basically done. But then, in an age of social media, it is a little bit impossible for them to stay in kayfabe as they once did. We're also going to discuss these so-called injuries that Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns have suffered and what they are exactly doing overseas. We're going to have some fan reactions to the House of Horrors match. I've discovered I enjoy doing this, reporting to you what fans really thought. It isn't just my point of view, it's the fans as well. So we're going to do that as well. And rumors of the day. So how about we kick it off with the Hardy Boyz story, and we can go there. So the article reads, the Hardys on their first international tour in years. Now there are several new faces who weren't on WWE's last overseas tour who are joining WWE for their latest trip to the United Kingdom and Europe over the next week plus. But none bigger than the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boyz. Their presence is noteworthy for a few reasons. One, of course, because they are big stars whose return to the WWE has generated a lot of buzz. But it's also because Jeff hasn't been allowed to travel to the UK for several years as a result of a plea arrangement stemming from a 2009 arrest for drug possession and trafficking. Impact Wrestling watchers know it all too well. As for the many years Jeff was one of their top stars, they would have to write him out of storylines because heading across the Atlantic. While the charismatic enigma is obviously there, as the above video, and I did not grab that video, but you got the picture there by them by the airport, so that's good enough. From WWE showing the brothers getting ready for the May 3rd show in Rome proves, Matt, we're here in Rome. It's our first European tour in many, many years. We are excited to be here. I know you're excited, right? And Jeff goes on to say, oh, for sure. It's been like 7-8 years, and I can't wait to get out there and tear it up. Now, Jeff has also advertised for all the UK shows over the next 10 days. That's possible because, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the travel ban in his plea deal expired in October of 2016. So if you were like me and wondered if Vince McMahon just has better lawyers than Dixie Carter, that doesn't appear to be the case. I mean, he surely does, but that's not why Jeff is headed to London. Hopefully Europe is ready to get extreme. I kind of like it that he's able to travel overseas because it is hard on the company having to write a star out of storylines due to past mistakes. And yes, he has had many past mistakes, and it's really sad that he had to go down that route, but everyone makes their mistakes, and I look at it this way: everyone can come back. I came back from a lot of mistakes. I've spent time in jail. I've used a lot of different drugs, not the heavy ones, but been an alcoholic, and I've been addicted to painkillers. So I know how hard it is to come back. My only obstacle right now, besides having an occasional drink, is cigarettes. That is the one that I have to overcome, and that's the one I am trying really hard to get through. So I'm happy for Jeff that he can actually travel overseas now, and maybe his storylines can be a little bit more fluid. He doesn't have to be writ off as often. But up next, got a little, this has part to do with the whole kayfabe thing, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Now, it was reported by, who was it, Kurt Angle, how bad the injuries were to Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns this past Monday. How Roman Reigns had suffered more internal injuries, cracked ribs were re-cracked or broken. He was spewing blood from his mouth. And Braun Strowman supposedly had suffered a tear in his rotator cuff. Now, as you know, if you suffer a tear in your rotator cuff, you're going to be out for a few months guaranteed. So, the picture below, what the hell are they doing their first night in Rome in a tables match? Or at least that's what it appears to be. Now, I watched the video, and they had Roman Reigns spear Braun Strowman through a table. And I'm wondering, what happened to all these injuries? Now, you can go and say, oh, come on, man, wrestling's fake. Yes, but they want us to believe it is real. That is the whole kayfabe thing. We are supposed to believe as fans that everything that happens in the show is real. We all know it's nothing but a glorified soap opera. We know that. But we expect some continuity, some realism, some semblance of, hey, this guy actually might have gotten hurt. But as you can see in the picture below, or to the side, that is not the case in this day and age in the wrestling world. So how about I get into the article and read to you exactly what went down. And the article was titled, Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman overcome their injuries to do table spots at Rome house show. And it begins, the healing power of an afternoon taking in the sights. On Monday night, May 1st, Raw General Manager Kurt Angle announced that following their match at Payback the night before, Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman were out with injuries. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold. Even then, they were advertised as facing each other on WWE's European tour. So it's not too surprising they went ahead with that match on the first night of the trip in Rome on May 3rd. Heck, it's not even the first time they've done this spot on a house show in the midst of an injury angle during their feud. Still, it's a little surprising WWE called Strowman's kayfabe injury a torn rotator cuff rather than a more vague terms they typically use for storyline medical updates. Gotta make Braun look strong and overcome in a matter of days an injury which puts guys like Cesaro, Finn Balor, and even John Cena on the shelf for months and is certainly fitting the monstrous image of a man who can overturn ambulances. And we all know what kind of joke that was. But it's true, it is amazing to me how bad they are getting with these injury reports. And then, you can look at any news report and see they're still wrestling in house shows, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with these people. This damn cold kind of kicked my ass today. Off and on, sleep all night. And then I slept all fucking morning till around 1 this afternoon. So I am not doing the best today myself. But going back to this article. Now, does it make you seem like Braun Strowman is that monster among men if he can compete with a torn rotator cuff? I ask you that. Comment below in the comments below. And Roman Reigns, broken ribs, internal injuries, and he's still Superman. Give me a break. I want them to do something with this guy. I really do. He needs to go heel the right way. Everyone can say, oh, he is technically a heel now. I don't see it. Yes, he's getting booed. Yes, he is. He's saying heel-like things in the ring when he cuts a promo, but in the end, he is still being pushed as your baby face and shoved down our throats as this guy that can overcome every obstacle. And it's ridiculous because it's not possible. Now, over time, anyone can adapt and overcome. But this guy has been pushed to the max right from the get-go, shoved down our throat as this Superman, and we're sick of it. Go and do something different with him. Kind of lay off the push a little bit. Make him go heel a big way. And make him do it the right way. Now, this morning, we had news of another leaked nude photo bomb with Charlotte Flair, of all people. It's hard for any guy in my position. I made light of the Alexa Bliss one because I seen some of the photos. They are clearly faked. And some of them were downright hilarious looking. And then with the pillar to post fist as your censorship little pin on anatomy and stuff, it looked even funnier. But I'm going to be honest. For one, I'm not a Charlotte fan. She is an attractive woman, but for me, it's attractive from the waist up. and her face isn't even that great. She is a beautiful, attractive woman. I'm not going to take that away from her. But from her hips down, just, I don't know. No shape. No shape. If it wasn't for her boob job, she probably wouldn't have any shape at all. But still, someone got into her personal files, either it be on the cloud or in her phone, and released them to the public. Now, I've seen the photos, and, just eh. But it is a privacy issue. And I'm going to get into a topic later on in the episode about this all. All these wrestling women having their photos, their nude photos leaked, sex videos, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. I'm going to get into that a little bit later down the show. But this one, now she tried getting ahead of it right away, and she made a Twitter post, and you can see she's obviously upset about it, and I can't blame her. But my question is, if you are going to do stuff like this, why are you going to either keep it on your phone or upload it to the cloud, or save it on your computer or tablet or whatever you're using? Why would you save it so someone can get into your files and hack it and release it to the public? Why? Really, even when I was in my best shape of my life, when I was gearing up to become the wrestler I wanted to be, I never thought about stuff like that. I honestly didn't. And I was a nice, fit man. I had nice hair at the time. Not now. It's all gone. It's starting to go away more and more every year. But, I never thought about that. And even after I met my wife, she is a very beautiful, trim woman. She is, when I met her, she wore size 00. And she's got a very curvaceous body. I love it and everything. But I've never thought about taking photos of her naked, because to me, the chances of someone else seeing that just did not come off as a very good fantasy of mine, and I get to see her naked whenever I want, so why? But, and some of these pictures that were released are her taking a picture of herself in a mirror. So, just to me, it doesn't make sense. You're looking at yourself in a mirror, so why are you taking a picture of yourself nude? Obviously, you were sending the picture to someone. Now, who's to say that that person you sent it to didn't send it to, or release it to the public? I'm going to read the article. It's just, to me, it's something I don't really care to report on, especially when it's not fake photos like Alexa Bliss's were. This is real, so this is invading someone's privacy. So, Charlotte Flair released a statement on private photos posted online without her consent. Now, earlier this morning, talk began to surface that another WWE star was the victim of hack, as there are apparently nude photos of Charlotte Flair being circulated online. A short time ago, Flair released a strongly worded statement through Twitter on the matter, and she replied or stated, "Private photos of mine were stolen and shared publicly without my consent. These images must be removed from the internet immediately." Now, clearly you can see this is done on a business standpoint. This is almost identical to what Alexa Bliss has posted and other females in the WWE locker room. So, it's basically done for the company. And, it's sad that it happened. It did. Now, the article goes on to say, as of now, that's the extent of her comments, coming shortly after Paige was victimized in a hack, and other female performers have had to address situations with online nudes. Charlotte is clearly trying to get ahead of this and possibly even lay the groundwork for legal action against anyone posting or sharing the images. She is currently on the road with the SmackDown brand in Italy. WWE has not commented on the matter. You know, like I said, if you're gonna take these photos, you can't just leave them on your phone or your communication device or your tablet or laptop, or upload them to the cloud. The cloud is known to be able to get hacked into and things messed with. Why? Just why? Keep it personal, okay? If you're going to share photos with someone, you're going to get burnt in the end. Guaranteed. And I'm glad I lived my life the way I was. Someone can say that, oh, you're not as adventurous as most people can be or want to be. Well, you know what? I'll be adventurous in the bedroom with no camera rolling. I don't need a camera to be adventurous when it comes to that kind of stuff. No. So, I'm gonna go. Oh, let's see. I'm probably messed up here with my shit. So, while I work this out, yeah, that was already viewed. So, let's go here. No, still messed up. This is why I should do takes, but I don't, so here we go. Well, this is dealing with a little bit of the kayfabe issue that we were talking about earlier on the show. Now, Braun Strowman and Roman set blood feud aside for a little sightseeing scene. That is the topic title. Now, the good news is both Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman look pretty healthy in a photo Titus O'Neil tweeted and Instagrammed from Rome, where the superstars of Raw have a show later today. That was yesterday, I should say. The less good news, unless you really like to argue, is that the debate of kayfabe in the day and age of social media has another talking point. I direct you to the responses to Titus' messages, but since he already deleted them both, he knows. Here's a saved version of the photo, which I have posted there, and you can see how bad kayfabe has become, in this day and age of social media. Strowman, I better take a drink, people, sorry. Strowman and Reigns have, of course, been engaged in an increasingly personal and violent feud on screen. After their battle at this past Sunday's Payback pay-per-view continued backstage, WWE ran an injury angle for both men on Raw. As with Reigns' last injury from this program, he and Braun were expected to face each other on house shows during this European tour. But this may be a bridge too far even for Vince McMahon's entertainment company. Now, there's a lot of people I've seen talk about this whole kayfabe thing. They flip right the fuck out. Now, I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to flip out. I am a big fan of wrestling. I'm not a casual. I look at it through the eyes of when I watched wrestling back in the day, when wrestling came off as more realistic. The injuries were portrayed as more realistic. You had guys that were like blinded in the ring, say by either perfume or some chemical or what have you. They would not allow themselves to be seen in public until the storyline had them come back from that injury. Jake the Snake suffered some blindness for a while at the hands of Rick Martel. And he was one of those wrestlers that would really take kayfabe seriously and hide the fact that he was actually well and healthy from the public. Many wrestlers did it back then in the day. And back then, it was easier. You didn't have a cell phone in every hand taking pictures of, stars that people love. Or, hey, wasn't that guy supposed to be injured? Click. You didn't have that back in the day. Now, you have that everywhere. And now even the stars themselves are taking pictures of themselves and posting it on their social media and kind of ruining the whole kayfabe even more. Now, Titus did quickly remove the photo and comments from his accounts, but the damage was already done. And then on top of that, you have all these news sites that cover wrestling, and they show you videos and pictures of, Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns battling it out and being put through tables and shit. So, what as fans can we actually do? Ignore everything we see online? We can still enjoy wrestling as it is. We know it's fake. We know most of the injuries reported are for storyline's sake. And then we have the retards and the knuckle draggers and the mouth breathers and all the window lickers screaming at us, it's fucking fake. Give it up. Grow up. We know that already. We're not stupid people. We are not. So, the way I look at it is, the best we can do is just kind of look at wrestling now as a soap opera more than a wrestling aspect. As soon as they pushed the whole entertainment thing on the whole WWF thing and wrestling as a whole, it became more and more apparent that they were going to push the entertainment factor instead of the wrestling side of the business. You look at Raw and SmackDown these days, that's what you mainly get is the entertainment side of it instead of the wrestling. Kayfabe is dead. In my eyes, Kayfabe is dead. Now, Matt Hardy does a great job of staying in character. He'll go and do live podcasts and interviews, and he will stay in the broken Matt Hardy gimmick. And that is more than what most wrestlers do these days. But all in all, come on. Kayfabe had died a long time ago. As soon as it was, as soon as they started pushing out that wrestling indeed is fake, even though we already knew it then, but we didn't know how much of it was. So, I think people are just going to have to let it go, accept what we're getting this day and age, and just watch it for what it is. Now, we're still going to bitch because they're doing shit wrong. Storylines suck. Way too many pay-per-views. And they're not pushing their wrestlers to become better because, well, they've got no competition. They don't need to get better. And that's a sad fact. Very sad fact. Now, up next, I'm not going to bother changing the photo because I don't have a photo because this concerns the whole Charlotte thing again, but more in depth. So I'm going to read the article and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on the whole thing of these new photos being leaked and so on and so forth. Now, WWE star Charlotte Flair is the latest celebrity to have her picture or private photos leaked online. Flair, whose real name is Ashley Flair, F-L-I-E-H-R, confirmed Thursday on Twitter that she was the victim of a photo hack. The daughter of WWE legend Ric Flair said in her tweet that her photos were compromised and shared publicly on the internet, asking for them to be taken down immediately. Thank you, honey. Like I said, elusive as Bigfoot, but she's always right there, just out of the eyesight. But I read the whole Twitter statement earlier. I'm not going to read it again, so I'm going to move on. Now, the photos show a nude Charlotte taking multiple selfies in front of a mirror with her cell phone, which was a WWE case on it. I want to say there was other ones as well, but they were clearly fake. Her head was superimposed on another woman's body, but the ones with her standing in the mirror are obviously her. Now, Flair is one of the biggest female stars currently in WWE and is a 4-time women's champion. She began training with WWE in 2012 and debuted on NXT in 2013. Just 1 year later, Charlotte won the NXT Women's Championship and saw a steady rise of stardom in the industry. She received a promotion to the main roster in 2015 and won the WWE Divas Championship almost right away. She's been married twice in her lifetime, once to Ricky Johnson in 2010 before filing for divorce, and then to wrestler Bram in 2013, who is now in Impact Wrestling, I believe. The two filed for divorce in Florida in 2015.
Did you spill? Hi.
Thank you, my sweet daughter.
Here, put that on there.
I don't even want to know what you're giggling about right now.
She spilled.
Now, in March 2013, her younger brother Reed was found dead in his bed in Charlotte, North Carolina. His autopsy revealed that he died from an accidental overdose of heroin and prescription drugs. Charlotte's photo hack is another in a recent line of leaks targeting female WWE superstars. Now, on April 28th, current WWE Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss took to Twitter to respond to rumors that her private photos were compromised. She shot down the rumor with a tweet and asked that the altered photos be taken down. And Alexa Bliss's tweet went out, "Once again, the risque photos on the internet supposedly of me are bogus." Now, earlier this year, former WWE Divas champion Paige was the victim of a hack when a number of explicit photos and videos were stolen from her cell phone and leaked online by a hacker. Paige wrote a lengthy message on social media that said after the leak, she had days that made her feel as if she wanted to physically harm herself. "I made a big mistake," she says. "Huge. I put trust in the hands of someone that took advantage of a young girl years ago. It was my mistake and I'll always take responsibility. The one thing that was the hardest was thinking my husband is going to leave me. My family will disown me. But I'm blessed beyond words to have a family and a husband that stuck by me because they know who I am. They know I'm not a bad person and they held my hand through hell." I'm going to take a little break here from reading. WWE superstar Summer Rae also reportedly had private photos hacked and leaked to numerous websites. But she took to Twitter to respond shortly after after the reported leak, implying that the photographs of her weren't real. And she responded by saying, "As they say, don't believe everything you see on the internet. There's people out there with a lot of time on their hands and a big imagination." Now, I'm going to propose a topic for discussion about this whole leaked nude photos from these women. Doesn't it sound like it's becoming a trend in the women's locker room to have your nude photos accidentally hacked or people hacking you? It sounds more to me like it's a competition. Who can get out there and maybe have the most views on their photos or whatnot? Who's going to report it on the most? Who's going to get the most views when they report this shit? It's hard to believe that so close together all these women are getting hacked and they're still not taking extra precautions to make sure that their explicit activities are safe from being hacked and taken off their phones or the cloud or whatever have you. It just, to me, it sounds like it's a competition with these women. Oh, oops, my stuff got leaked, or I got hacked. Oh, boo-hoo, woe is me. You know what? I don't feel sorry for you. I really don't. I hate the fact that I have to report on this shit because it is the #1 topic of the day. Clearly, as you can see from the content I'm giving you, news in the wrestling world is very slim to none following Payback, and it is fucking strange to me. And this is the #1 topic on the news. Well, I'm not going to have it as the #1 topic on my show because clearly I put it right in the fucking middle. But, you know what? They're beautiful women. They are. But it's hard to tell, like I said, if this is actually legit happening. Are they actually getting leaked? Or is this something that the women's locker room is doing with themselves? Or are they doing it to themselves? You know, they leave their stuff in their bag, and it's a gag. You know, we know that there is a lot of hazing and a lot of tomfoolery going around in the locker rooms in the WWE universe. So is it another female wrestler doing it to, one of her friends or her opponent, just trying to one-up one another? It is hard to tell this day and age. You've got the whole bullying situation with JBL, and it's been reported he's been like this for years, hazing people. Well, is this another form of hazing from the women in the locker room? Tell me what you think in the comments below about this whole situation, because to me, I can't really tell. Should I feel sorry for these women because they're actually, stupid enough to not take extra precautions, or, stop having this shit on your phones and what have you? Or, like I said, is this something that they're doing with each other, as in either hazing or, a gag or what have you, to get back at one another? Because it's happening pretty quickly back and forth with one another. And it just seems odd that it would, they're not taking the extra precaution. It doesn't make sense to me. It honestly does not. Now, up next, we're going to discuss rumors for the day. Now, photos in the Sun this last week show Undertaker and wife Michelle McCool entering David H. Koch Pavilion Hospital for special surgery in New York, a top orthopedic hospital in the U.S. It's expected he'll undergo a number of procedures there now that he's retired, including the long-rumored hip replacement. Next one is, according to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, everybody wants Adam Cole right now. It's believed New Japan and WWE are the top two contenders. Next on the list is Vince McMahon was not at Payback, Raw, or SmackDown this week, allegedly because he's trying to travel less and didn't want to fly cross-country. There's also another rumor that says he doesn't like flying to the West Coast or the East Coast? One of those two. He doesn't like flying out to certain areas, so he doesn't do it. Here's a cool one. SE Scoops says Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho used a power bomb on the floor rather than a KO's usual apron bomb on Tuesday night as an homage to Jake the Snake Roberts, how Jake Roberts rode off Ricky Steamboat back in 1986. I thought this one was funny. Jack Swagger will now be billed in the Indies as formerly known as Jack Swagger. Wow, way to go to change your gimmick up a bit, man. Formerly known as Jack Swagger. Go back to catering. Go back. Go back to cleaning toilets. Go back to scrubbing the floors with toothbrushes. Go back to being the bootlicker in the locker room. Come on, man. You can do better than this. Formerly known as Jack Swagger. Give me a fucking break. Like, what the fucking hell are you thinking? This brings me up to another thing. This wasn't even on my topic to talk about. What the fuck are they doing with Shinsuke Nakamura? The artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. Why does he need that title? The artist known as. He's not an artist. He's a fucking pro wrestler. So, what the fuck, man? So we got Jack Swagger as formerly known as Jack Swagger. Is this kind of a take on the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura? Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares, really? I figured Jack Swagger gets up on the indies, and he's going to actually try to push himself to change, to create a new him, make himself better, make himself more appealing to the fans. Work shit out. This ain't working shit out. This is taking shit down to below basement level when it comes to the wrestling industry. Wow. Now, here's another thing I like to do as of late. I did this on my last show, and I felt like I like to do it again. Fans' reactions. Now, last time it was fan reactions on... can't fucking remember. My memory's shit. But this one is the fans' reactions to the House of Horrors at Payback. Everyone knows what kind of debacle that was. So the first comment was, "It's a TV show. Get the hell over it. Oh, and Kane isn't a demon, and The Undertaker is not an actual zombie." Someone replied to this guy and said, "What? What? What?" And it went on from there to say, "I'm sorry, but last I checked, Bray Wyatt can teleport, so you better watch yourself." So there's some good comments here. I like it. And another fan posted, "He got from Missouri to San Jose in a limo in about 20 minutes. Then again, Orton got a fridge off of himself and beat Bray back to the arena with no known means of transportation." So it's going to keep on going. Some good comments here. What if when Bray comes to the ring, he takes off a disguise revealing that he was Randy Orton all along? And then when the other Randy Orton comes to the ring, he takes off his disguise revealing that he was really Bray Wyatt. What a twist! Inspiration by SpongeBob SquarePants. Yeah, not a fan of SpongeBob, but then I'm old and my kids are older too. Randy Orton beat Bray back to the arena with no means of transport? Question mark. Can I get an out of nowhere? Sorry, someone had to say it. Next up, Kane is the future demon governor. Everyone knows that. The next person said, "What if Orton used the fridge as transport?" Wow. Yeah, refrigerator as a teleportation device. Orton was a Wyatt. He learned how to teleport like Bray. Come on now. And last and not least, another one. Next, you're going to say it's all scripted. Oh, motherfucker. Really? It's all scripted? No, we didn't know that, man. We just did not realize it was all fucking scripted. That was Pillar to Post, episode 4, part number 2 for your, what is it, Friday? Is it Friday? No, it's Thursday, people. It's May 4th. And remember, tonight, 8 p.m., Shooting from the Hip goes live here on the Pillar to Post channel. So make sure you're here. We're going to have some fun. I'm hoping Red Rain is feeling better. Red Rainer, I'm sorry. Honestly, me and him got to know each other a few weeks back. And he asked me about doing something together on my channel and like a group thing. And I said, you know what? Why not, man? He's an up-and-coming podcaster just like myself. He's trying to get off the ground. I'm doing the same thing. Why not join forces for one show a week? Have some fun with it. And bring you something new. Bring you some new content. So, like I said, join us at 8 p.m. tonight for Shooting from the Hip. We will be live streaming. Now, if YouTube does end up being a problem again, we are probably not going to have a live feed of our own videos. We're probably just going to put up some cover art and just have audio playing. I don't want it to be like our last episode. We were having a lot of fun, and it was just stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. It was so terrible. Don't want it to happen again. If you stuck it out to the end, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Continue to follow what's going on here on Pillar to Post. VidMe followers, continue to do the same. And share these videos around. And as we grow, things will get better. And like I said, all my social media outlets are in the description below. I will add Red Rainers as well. And you guys have a good day, and I will see you tonight at 8. Thank you very, very much.